Aloha, good morning, Skyra with Sovereign Vision Temple. And today I'm going to talk about a term called transcendence. It's really been coming up a lot in my experience, and I felt it's really important to talk about because it's a term that misleads those who are on the path of awakening. It's really easy for us to be told that we are to transcend our darkness and live in the light and the love and, ignore everything else and all the darkness outside of the world, but that also sets us up to ignore the darkness within ourselves. I know because I've experienced it. And by the way, I am an empowerment and embodiment coach, and I'm also here to speak truth and to bring unification within as people are walking into the path of the soul awakening. So I work deeply with people in shadow work and post-addiction and those who are on the awakening path, who are in the process of full ascension. But in order to get to that full ascension, that we need to also to transmute those lower frequencies and energies within ourself. That is the path of full transcendence, of full awakening. That is what it means for unification and unity on this planet. That the work needs to be done within. In order for anything to happen and manifest on the outside, on the earthly plane, we are the ones responsible for creating it. We are the emanations of spirit, of God, ourselves. We are the physical emanations. We are the physical beings of spirit. We create our collective reality, and because through our mind and also through our body, because the physical is just it's a manifestation of spirit. So I just wanted to make sure I wrote that I got that information out there. So what really I guess happened for me over the last, I guess it's been 5 days now, is processing my cat that got killed. We feel that we know. I think I know. She got attacked by some dogs 5 days ago, and so her name was Laka, and she was a special spirit because all spirit is embodied in a physical form. And I believe that animals also come as spiritual guides and teachers for us, or they're there for us during certain times of our life. She was with me a very short time, not less than a year. And she brought me out of, I was in work and I was in the middle of, when we're on the spiritual path of awakening, we go through, it's a cyclic path, it goes in deeper and deeper levels. So it might start on the surface level, and then it works its way deeper into like deep soul work. And it gets darker before it gets light. And I am definitely, in the past 3 years, have been through the depths of my own shadow and the shadow outside that we are seeing manifest in the world. But I knew that in order to manifest light on the outside, I had to make sure that I was able to transform that darkness that exists within myself as well. to be able to see fully in the light. And so my last 3 years of my life was diving deep into the things I didn't want to see about myself. You know, the programming, and it's not even conscious. That's the thing with most of us. It's a deep protective mechanism that we developed in childhood to protect ourselves from traumas and programs and things that didn't feel good to our soul. So we develop these illusions of reality that keep us covered and protected and makes us feel safe. Whether it's addiction, whether it's disassociation, or whether it's some kind of, any kind of addiction. It can be eating, it can be addiction to negative thoughts, which was very much something I lived in. And what the process is of healing and the inner work is coming back to a place of being able to transmute those negative, that mindset, and to bring it back and transcend that. But it's also to feel it, to deeply feel the pain, to deeply know that we are human, that we're going to experience pain in this lifetime. It's not about just transcending it to live in a state of bliss, to just not feel anything and to just, be in this state of bliss and transcend all pain. Because we are human living on this earth, we came and we asked for this experience. We are going to experience pain and suffering in this lifetime. And it doesn't matter where you are on your spiritual path. It doesn't matter if you've completely got into unification and, understand every aspect in a mindset. We still have to feel, because we are human. And this whole term of transcendence is an old patriarchal religious and spiritual program. It's not of truth. It's not the full truth. It's partial truth. And we need deep, real, full truths coming out now in this new earth frequency. We need the full truth. And we are not here to just transcend in a state of bliss and not deeply ground into our humanness and embody and feel bliss, but also to feel pain and suffering, because it's happening in the world. And until we can acknowledge it and feel it and allow that energy to move through our body, it's going to continue to be suppressed and shoved away, and it comes out. It comes out anyway. It comes out in disease in the body. It comes out in mental illness and addictions. So in order to fully transcend, we have to feel in our body. We have to be able to hold the pain and the suffering and feel it and allow it to ground into the earth and move through our body so that it can be released out into spirit, back into the earth, to God, that will absorb it back out of our humanness. So this term transcendence and bliss is partial truth. As above, so below, as within, so without. I just wanted to show you a picture of Laka. You might have seen her in some of my videos. She was a spiritual being. She had these beautiful, bright blue eyes, and she was white. She came to me when she was 3 weeks old, and she was born from parents of, she was the cats were feral. Her mother and father were feral, and she was eaten up by bugs, and she came out from underneath the house and left the litter because she loved everybody. You know, they had a dog, and she played with the dog. So she thought that all dogs were good, you know, and so a lot of us, and I'm bringing this up for a purpose because yes, I have felt the deep pain that I don't think she is no longer on this earthly plane, because I found out the truth of today that there was 2 dogs that had attacked her, and knowing her, she would have wanted to play with them, you know, and then, but the dogs that are here in Hawaii, that once they get together in packs, they tend to attack if they get out, if they're, so she probably wanted to play and didn't see, she could only see the goodness. And this was my own truth until 3 years ago. You know, we can get into this place of only with wearing these rose-colored glasses, and we only wanted to live in bliss, and we only want to live in the light and the goodness, and we don't want to see the darkness within or in others. And it requires deep discernment. So Laka didn't have, Mirka was my other cat. Laka she didn't have that discernment on board. She played with the dog that lived here on this property all the time. They played ball and they played chase. So I'm probably that when these dogs came up, she thought they wanted to play. And it's so painful, you know, it's so painful to lose. And I'm smiling right now, but I wasn't earlier, hence the way I look. But I just wanted to do this video today, to bring this up, to allow ourselves to feel the deep pain and the suffering, and to know that we don't have to shove it away. We can cry, because that's a cleansing. It's cleansing. And, you know, we are living in this earthly plane of death and destruction, and of war, and also love. It is the true transcendence, true unification comes when we can acknowledge it, not only on the outside, but to deeply feel it and to deeply acknowledge it on our inside, so that we're able to turn our feelings, our emotions, and shift our mindset to know that we are on this death and rebirth earth, that this is nature. We are living in a place. Mother Earth is just, we're in a cycle of death and rebirth, a constant cycle. So the physical may die, the physical may leave the earth, it may return back into the earth, the physical body, but the soul is eternal. So her soul, even pets, you know, if they maybe they just come as to assist us, our souls on the path. And she brought me out of a deep part of darkness for these last 3 years in my own deep shadow work, and brought me this past year back into the light and back into the love, to see the deeper meaning of this life, that we are here in our full humanness. So I hope that helped today. If you are needing assistance and support on this path of awakening, this is the work I do in the world. You can, my email is in the description. I am taking one-on-one clients and mentoring at this moment. And you can find that information in the description. And you can also sign up for the community newsletter in the description. So if this videos spoke to you in any way, I will be continuing to teach deep spiritual teachings on unification and embodiment and what it means to be human and walking a spiritual path in our full humanness. Have a beautiful day. Aloha.